Okay, that's enough of that. All right, terrific.
You're going to play live later. Pete's going to do backing vocals. Nicky, drums. Is that right?
I think you would be wiser not to have me involved in this.
Is it true? Can Nicky sing?
No comment.
Now, you work together, all three of you, running a huge church with all the associated Alpha programmes and everything else that comes out of Holy Trinity Brompton. And we're talking about leadership this morning with the Leadership Conference coming up in May. Pete and Tim, I wanted you to spill the beans. Nicky's style as a leader. What's the best and worst things about him? Yeah. Nicky, you'll get a chance to have your own back.
He's looking worried. Who's
been working longest, Tim?
I've nearly got my 10-year badge. No, I think Nicky. Obviously, it's awkward with him sat right here. But
should we send him out?
There's no one else listening.
Get off your knees, Tim. Come on, stand up like a man.
In all seriousness, I've worked with lots and lots of leaders around the world, but Nicky, I think, is incredibly unique. Few things. Firstly, unbelievable humility and generosity, which I think then creates space for other leaders to really shine. And I think he's very releasing. I know that's been my experience coming in, and opportunities to lead worship. We've developed this kind of worship training resource, Worship Central, and there's been no sense of sort of Nicky trying to micromanage or dictate how things operate. You just feel supported and released to run with vision. So I think it's quite unique. We have a leadership meeting every Tuesday, which we'll be going off to in a moment. And sitting around the room are some of the most incredible leaders I've worked with, who Nicky somehow can hold together and encourage and release. And I think that takes humility, but also it takes someone who's very secure and releasing. And I think that team model of leadership has really inspired me, and I think that's one of the great gifts he brings to HTB. And
a bit of a talent spotter, almost finding people who are gifted and letting them go. Go on, Pete, your chance.
Well, you sort of meet different leaders and high-profile people, and my experience, sadly, is often they're very impressive when you first meet them. The longer you spend with them, the less impressive they can become. And honestly, truly, with Nicky and Pippa Gumbel, the longer I spend with them, the more impressed I am by the quiet integrity, the speaking well behind closed doors of people, not just to their faces. And I've just learned an enormous amount from being around Nicky and Pippa. I honestly think that they have been raised up by God for this time. Yeah. And I think we're blessed to have them in the nation. They are extraordinary leaders. And I think one of the great reasons to come to the Leaders' Conference, frankly, isn't just to hear speakers. You can hear them online. It's that God's doing something through what Nicky and Pippa and others are leading. And it's time for us to come together and connect with that.
And also, just Nicky's bigging up, Raniero Cantalamessa and Joyce Meyer. But actually, Nicky's going to be speaking. And he's one of the people who's leading this incredible movement, and I want to be there because I love hearing what he's learning, and I think that's going to be hugely important for leaders to get involved with.
Nicky, time for staff appraisal of these two.
Yeah, staff appraisal time.
You can see why it's such fun working with this team, and we are just so blessed with the people on our team, and that's what I love about I've got the best job in the world, and I love working with these guys. We have an amazing team. We have such fun together. But that's why I feel passionately about this conference, because I think there's something amazing happening in this country, and I think we're on the verge of something. Mm-hmm. And this conference is one of the big features of this conference will be unity, and we've got people from all spectrum of the church coming together. We have the head of the Catholic Church in this country speaking, Cardinal Vincent Nichols. We have a mystery guest coming, and there's going to be amazing unity across the different parts of the church. Having Joyce Meyer and Father Raniero Cantalamessa on the same platform. They've never spoken on the same platform before, and I think they're both very much looking forward to hearing each other. And I think there will be something when brothers and sisters dwell together in unity, God commands his blessing. And we've seen that over and over again. And I think this conference is going to be such a display of unity that I just can't wait to see God's blessing.
Just as an aside, Nicky, I'd say 50% or more of the ministers that I know have been or are broken people because of the difficulty of the job, the difficulty in running a church, the pain and problem that they bear of the people whom they serve. How do you guys manage to remain so upbeat all the time?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that we do these kind of events, is because the way that we encourage one another is by coming together and hearing the stories and saying, oh, actually, we're not alone. Look, there are 8,000 people gathered at this event who love one another, who are excited about what Jesus is doing in this country. And then you begin to feel healed and restored and filled up and equipped to go back and deal with the challenges of any leadership. Is challenging.
Yeah.
You know, criticism is very easy. You can sit on the sidelines and criticize. That doesn't cost anything. But to get involved in leading and making a difference, that always opens you up to challenges and difficulties. But that's the challenges of the arena, and that's where that's where things are changed. So yes,
this could be a healing process coming together like this.
Yeah. It heals, equipping, restoring, and envisioning again about what's happening. I think we're at a really exciting time in this nation, and I think this conference is going to be a really strategic moment.
As you say, leadership of any kind is challenging, particularly when you're in the great battle, as some like to call it. What have each of you learned from the different things that you've led about how to face challenges, specifically in leading church or leading Christians? Pete, you've spoken very vulnerably about some of the challenges you and your family have faced in the past. What have you learned? How do you keep on keeping on?
Well, I do think you have to be honest. I think our authority comes out of our vulnerability, not out of pretending. And so I think, Sammy and I made a decision very early on that if we were called to any form of public life, that we had to be honest about our struggles as well as our successes. And I think what we found is people trust us more when we're honest about our struggles and our brokenness. And, I think as well, there's a wonderful opportunity that as we struggle, we can help others as they struggle, because they know that we perhaps understand. So, yeah, of course, there are all sorts of challenges. And,
Tim, how do you face challenges in a nutshell?
I think for me, family, friends are so important, to have people around you to share the load. You can't do this on your own. I don't think the sort of Lone Ranger ministry works. So when you have people to share it with, and then also just finding your anchor and your security in Christ, that daily routine of coming before him, looking to him, being refreshed, replenished by him is so important.
Why not start your day with Inspirational Breakfast, Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m, only on Premier Christian Radio, where faith comes to life.